Coming up next, we'll talk through what you should do after losing a job. And then I'll share with you the most important thing to know in your career. We'll take your calls and your chats, and it all starts right now. I'm coming to you live from Ramsey Studios in Nashville, and you are joining a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do it, and how you can get there. It's all about your purpose, your why. And I can tell you from a 50,000 foot point of view that you, me, everyone on the planet, well, we were created to fill a unique role through our work. Now, we're not all about work, obviously, but we are in large part about our work and our contribution as a result of the work. This is why we all long to make a difference. We want to help people. And so we are coming at it from that point of view that you were created to contribute. And so if you don't know what that is, that's stage one of our 7 stages. Think of it as a stage, like a race, a journey, a climb, whatever analogy you want to use. Stage 1 is get clear. Once you know who you are, what you were created to do, where you would like to do it, now you can move into stage 2, which is get qualified. This is what you have to learn. This is what you have to do. And then you're ready for stage 3. Stage 3 is get connected. This is the currency for success. It's connections, relationships. That's how you get in. That's how you move up and move on. And as you're getting connected, opportunities come to you, and then you get the opportunity to get started. That's stage 4. You get in. There are things you've got to do. We teach how to act, what qualities to develop so that you can be promotable. And that gets you into stage 5, get promoted. Stage 6 is get the dream job. Stage 7 is all about working like no one else. You're very successful now. You've been in the dream job and you realize this is all about maximizing myself to give the maximum away. And so that's a quick run through the 7 stages. What stage are you in? You can engage with us 2 ways. One, you can call 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. Madison standing by. We've got 3 phone lines still open. Folks are already on hold, ready to go. You can also submit your question via the chat window next to the video. As you're watching live, you can get in right now. For those of you that are watching later being not 12 p.m. Eastern time, then you'll have to call in the next day or join us live every day, 12 Eastern here on YouTube. So that's how you engage. You can also email the show, ask@kencoleman.com, social media, @Ken Coleman on Instagram, and Twitter, Facebook. You can just search The Ken Coleman Show. All of the connections at kencoleman.com. So how do you bounce back after losing a job? I mean, we saw unbelievable unemployment numbers. It was so unbelievable because in February of this year, we had 3.5% unemployment. And then, boom, coronavirus hits. We jumped to 40+ million people unemployed. Now, that number is now inching back closer to single digits, but the fact remains you're looking at roughly 20+ million people unemployed still. It's a big deal. The August Ipsos poll found that unemployment was one of the top 3 worries among people in the United States. It's a big deal. So I saw an article with Fast Company, good reminder of some things to think about. This is almost a quick reset because that's what happens when you get let go. It shatters everything, and it plays on our worst fears. So what do you do in those moments? Because it's a fearful thing. First, don't rush yourself. The idea here is take a few days, let it all sink in. You never want to act in a state of panic or fear. I don't care what's going on. It's never good for you. Even though it's disheartening and it has a lot of negative repercussions to it, breathe. Take your time. Don't make any kind of snap decisions. Get around some people that are going to lift you, that will just simply encourage your heart, help you with the healing process, but also they're going to give you great wisdom. They're going to make some great connections for you. The way this article talks about it, it says, gather your recovery team. I like that. Get a recovery team together and go, hey, I need you, I need you, I need you, I need you. I'm weak right now. I'm down. I'm disillusioned. I'm scared. Get a recovery team. And then as you begin to come out of the pain, you got that recovery team, you got better perspective. Make sure that you then focus on what you have to offer. Make sure that you get inside yourself and go, wait a second, I've got a lot to offer here. I have nothing to do with COVID. This is a truly remarkable set of economic circumstances. So it's not your fault. Get focused on the positive of what you can do. And then start looking for opportunities. As you begin to look for opportunities, you'll find them. And then only focus on what you can control. You're in a tough job market right now. And if you start worrying about every time you get ignored or every time you get rejected, you won't stay in the game. So focus on what you can control, and that's your effort, putting yourself out there, making connections, applying, and then eventually the opportunity is going to break. 844-747-2577, 844-747-2577. I got the Ken Coleman Show pencil in my hand, ready to take notes. Brian joins us first in Grand Junction, Colorado. Brian, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, thanks for taking my call.
My
question for you is, being at a job that I've been at for a while, I'm good at, but the company leadership, or at least the department leadership, is leaving a lot to be desired right now. And I'm trying to figure out when to leave the job and try and find something else. The caveat is that the industry I'm in, oil and gas, here in western Colorado, is kind of a shaky deal, and it seems to be hit or miss. When it's booming, it's going great. But I might end up being in another trade, like plumbing, something like that, electrician, something that I'm not quite qualified for, but I'm close. So when do you decide to leave based on the leadership more than anything else?
Well, in this situation, we can't allow the leadership and the toxicity or the just lack of efficiency, whatever the real problem is that you have with leadership. We can't allow them to dictate our timeline. So the question becomes, do you want to stay in oil and gas, or do you want to move on to the trades anyway? What's the forget the ups and downs and the leadership, what's the long-term goal for you?
You know, to be honest, I'm kind of on the fence as far as, I feel like I'm in the trades. I'm out in the woods working with my hands by myself a lot. And so I'm doing the same job with just a little bit different framework around it. You know, I'm doing plumbing and electrician and stuff like that already. I love the job. I just, and some of that is looking at the up and down of the oil and gas market. You know, living where I live, it's hard to have the wife work because there's no child care available.
Okay, but you're doing plumbing and electrician work essentially, but for an oil and gas company.
Effectively, yes. The difference is it's not an apprenticeship or a whatever you want to call that program. And so that's the. But then going to someplace else, you'd come right back up in presumably 2 or 3 years. But I got a newborn and a 2-year-old at the house that I got to make sure are getting fed and taken care of as well.
Right. But I don't want you to have an interruption in income at all. So I want you to stay put until you can get the certification or whatever qualification is necessary for you to step out of that oil and gas company and into the trades. It seems like that's the step you want to take. You love the work. You just don't like doing it for this company. So in order to take care of the kiddos, we don't have an interruption in income. So to me, I feel like the question is, what do you have to do, even though you've got the talent to do it? What would a trade company, an electrical company, or a plumbing company need to see from you in order to hire you?
You know, typically it's the certifications, and that's where the rub is, so to speak, because Colorado requires, or at least my understanding was, and I'm trying to get clear on that you had to work 3 years as an electrician to get, say, the journeyman license, which is the straight across move. So quitting the company I'm at seems to be the way you'd have to go to get that, unless I was able to find a company that was willing to work around that with the pay and then, kind of test up without the certification and pay.
How long have you been doing it at your current company?
8 years.
How long?
8 years.
8 years. So that doesn't transfer? That's not more than 3 years?
No, because that's the problem is you have to be in that program for the it's hoops you got to jump through and check boxes to say yes, you've done this and this and this. And
okay,
so that's where
let me ask a silly question. The work you've been doing for this oil and gas company, if you write it all down and you were to take over 8 years, I've done this type of electrical work, I've done this kind of plumbing work, and you were actually talking to another electrician or plumber, would they say, oh my gosh, you have all the experience necessary?
I think they would, yeah.
Yeah, so why don't you go about doing that? You need to talk to some actual guys who run plumbing companies. You got to work your relationships. Somebody that runs an electrical company, you got to sit down with them and go, hey, here's my situation. This is what I've been doing. This is the kind of work I want to do, but I know what the state law says, and I'm just asking, do I have the equivalent, or can you help me around the loophole? Is there a loophole? If there is, would you be willing to help me get through the loophole so I could work for you? I think that's what you have to do.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. That sounds
because
good.
I think you and we've boiled it down to that seems to me to be the only avenue, unless you go to another oil and gas company with better leadership, and that's an option as well. But I wonder, let me throw one other scenario out there just because I want to make sure I'm helping you think through everything. Let's say they come back to you and say, no, there's no loophole. It stinks, but this is how you got to do it. I wonder if you don't start doing some electrical and plumbing work on the side. You see what I'm saying? For yourself. And then you build up the experience that way. And then you're making extra money.
Yeah, and I've thought of that. The only problem with that is we live on 80 acres, and I got a ranch that I'm trying to take care of at the same time and raise beef and all that stuff. So there's a little bit of a lack of time to just go ahead and
yeah, dude, you're running a farm. That's impressive.
Oh, we're busy. I mean, that's the thing. It's a variety of skills. It's just a matter of having them certified on paper.
Are you making money on the farm and the cattle?
We're not making a ton of money, but we're working on shifting some things around. It's more of a family farm, and it's going to be a little bit more sole proprietorship, so to speak.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we figured out the path for you, and I think you just got to relationship this thing to the point where somebody goes, you know what? Brian's a good dude. He's got all the talent. I'm going to help you come work for me. I think that's the play. I really do. I really do. But you know, it may not be that simple. But I think that's the best play. Appreciate the call, Brian. 844-747-2577. Let's go to Charlotte, North Carolina. Candace joins us there. Candace, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, how are you?
I am living the dream, Candace. What's going on?
Well, my husband and I are on baby step number 7.
Oh, wow.
And yes, pretty amazing. A lot of hard work, but financially we have the ability to pay for anything, and we have the grit. But I'm looking to start my own business and have my dream job. I've been with my current job for 17 years, and I need to figure out what in the world do I do with my talent.
Okay. So what are your top talents?
I hit a roadblock.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like I connect really well with people, just especially being with, I work at Starbucks. I love meeting new faces every day. I'm very physically active, but I just have no idea what to do because I've been with them for so long. I do have a degree in interior design and did do design work as well while working at Starbucks.
All right, well, you jumped away on me now. Stay focused, all right? All right. So you told
problem,
me
possibly.
No, you're nervous. It's okay. Here's the deal. I want us to really dive into the clues on Candace. So I asked you, what are your top talents? And you only told me one thing. You said, I'm really good at connecting with people. Then you said, I love connecting with people. So I'm going to put that under passion. So the work you love to do, you understand my model, right? We use what we do best to do the work we love to produce a result that matters deeply to us. You understand that? So we're going to plug in all the answers today because I think you know. All right, now here we go. So besides connecting with people, what are your other top strengths, your skills or abilities, qualities, personality qualities, and then hard skills as well? What do you got?
I like organizing and planning.
Are you good at it? I know you like it, but are you good at it?
I feel like, yes, I am.
All right. Remember, listen, we'll get to like in a second. I just want you to tell me what you're good at. If I interviewed everybody that knows you Tell me what Candace has always done so easily. It's just come easy to her. So organizing and planning. What else?
Designing.
Designing what?
I mean, with having a background in interior design, anything in the design field.
Right, but I want you to be specific. Are you talking about designing rooms or designing websites?
Designing like rooms, homes.
Great. Excellent. All right. Now, I think that's a good list of things that Candace does best. Talent. Let's go to passion. Work that Candace has high emotion for and high devotion. All right? So let's just go down the list to help you think. Do you love connecting with other people?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Do you love organizing and planning?
Yes.
You do. You look forward to organizing and planning. You get the juice.
Yes.
Yeah. You get deep into an organization and plan. You forget where time has gone, right?
Yes.
And let's take another guess. Do you love to design a room or a home to make it fit that person's personal style and make it homey and have the kind of vibe that a room or a restaurant should have? Okay. Yeah. All right. So we've got passion in your particular situation, as in with most. What we are good at, okay, there's usually some type of connection. In your case, there's a really close connection to the things you said I do best. You actually love doing all those things. Okay. That's not always the case for everybody, but there's a lot of ties. It's like down the list here. So the results that matter most to you from that work, that list of work you love to do, what are the results that matter? So when you do those things, the output of those tasks, if you will, or functions that you're filling, what of those things makes you really come alive when you see a result? What is it? Describe the results that matter deeply to you.
Yeah, just seeing the people change and the environment change, whatever that environment looks like. Just seeing the change of like, wow, the wow factor.
Yeah. Now, I thought it was very interesting here.
Awesome.
You've taken us to when people change or when environments change. When you said when people change, describe a person that you've helped make a change. What changed in that person's life and what was your involvement?
Are we talking about my design job or Starbucks?
I don't know. You tell me. You said, people, I said, what are the results that matter to you? You said, when I see the change in people or when I see the change in an environment. And I know what the environment is. I know what that is. I want to know what change in people really fires your soul up.
Just, really, like the most recent would be even just at Starbucks. You know, you see somebody, they're depressed, they're sad, especially now with everything going on. And just having that conversation with them and creating excitement in their life and, hey, look, you can look forward to this in life, and just creating, and their demeanor totally changes. And
then how do you feel when that person walks away from you and you know you've had an impact on their entire being? They've got a little bit of a smile, a little bit of a bounce. How does that make you feel?
It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah. So what would you try tomorrow, Candace? You're debt free. You got money stocked away. You can do anything you want to do because you're not going to risk a bunch of money doing it. You're going to be smart about it. What would you do tomorrow? What would you try first? If I told you that you can't fail and you get to try it, and if you want to quit 6 months from now and try something else, that's fine. But what would you try first, knowing there was no risk? Now, hearing what your head and heart have just said.
I would just love to buy an entire neighborhood of homes that need to be renovated and just flip all of them.
Yeah.
And let people live in their new homes.
How about that? Now that sounds
kind of crazy, but
no, it's not, because financially you can do that, can't you? Over time, right?
Yes.
How many homes can you build? How many homes can you buy right now, cash?
Ooh. Probably only a few right now.
Okay, but hello, how about just buying one?
Yes.
Let's buy one. This is your new business. You're going to buy one house. Do you have a neighborhood in mind?
There's a few places that I've moseyed through.
And so are you going to buy it and then you're going to totally flip it and it's going to be an amazing home for somebody and a great investment for you? You're going to make good money on it.
Yes.
Well, see, to me, that's the combination of everything we just talked about. Because I'm going to tell you one wrinkle that I want you to consider. And this is me hearing your heart, okay? So that's the business. That's the creative outlet, right? You come in, you have a vision for it, you renovate it, you make some good money on it, right? But what if you start getting into a situation where you begin to market your business for young families or whatever who may not be able to get into a certain level, and you connect with them and you want them to be happy, or maybe it's a single mom who's kind of rebuilding. Maybe she's come out of a tough relationship, or she's rebuilding, or maybe it's a widow or something like that. And you're the person that specializes you're kind of the Chip and Joanna Gaines, in that you help them find a house, and you go, in your money situation, let's just take a single mom for a second, okay? Tough divorce. She's trying to make a go of it, go after her dreams. She gets wind of you, and she goes, I hear about Candace. Candace helps people find homes, and she gives them a vision, and she does it. She does it on a budget, and she allows us to buy something, but be something that we're really proud of, but nobody else wants it. And after Candace is done, it's a dream for me. I just wonder if that's not a part of your play.
I like that.
You see where that's the connecting and the kind of giving somebody a leg up. Now, you don't have to do that for every house, but let's say out of every 10 houses you do, you come in and you find an old house that because you're a cash buyer and you got the profit, you don't make as much on that house as you do your other houses. But that's the way your company gives back. Or what if every 10 houses, one of them you donate to somebody? And it's a charitable thing. And now you see yourself doing business for good. I just heard that in you, and I could see you doing that and seeing your heart swell so much, because you came in and you took a house that was $80,000-$90,000 and you put another 50, 60 in it and turn it into something really special. But instead of, selling it for what it is, you give a great deal to a single mom or a widow or somebody like that. I don't know. It's just interesting to me. I think there's something there.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, it's your idea. All I did was listen to you. You gave me the idea. So, because you're in a situation, you can do this, Candace. Yeah. You don't need the money, but you can go make money. And let's say on your third or fourth house, you stacked up, $220,000. Well, you could take $100,000, okay, if you chose to do this, and that's a write-off for your business. And you donate a house to somebody. And you think people in Charlotte, North Carolina are going to start hearing about you? Trust me. You get some media coverage on this, and people are going to start seeking you out. Then there's this missional component that is more your heart. And I think that's how both of these come together. So you stew on that, but I think it'd be really great. I do.
Okay.
Appreciate the call, Candace. You're off and running, aren't you?
Yes.
Good. Go, Candace, go. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. Let's go to the chat room. Gabriella writes in, hey, Ken, I was recently let go, and I want to take this time to pivot in my career from customer experience to creating content for audio video. What should I do to get started? I love this question, because Gabriella, like all of us, could get really intimidated by trying to transition from one industry to the other. But in this situation, she wants to create audio and video content. So she says, Ken, what do I do to get started? Gabriella, here's what you do. Create something on audio and something on video by the end of this week. It does not need to be perfect. It does not even need to be the best thing you will ever create. That's key. In fact, it won't be, because it's the first. But I want you to start. So what would an audio product be? So you want to create content for audio. What is it? Create it. And put it out there. Show your work. Now, as you're doing that, this is getting your juices going. This is getting your confidence up. Then you start looking for, where can I work in the audio video field to keep getting more experience and making more connections? That's what you do. Just start. Start. Do something. And then keep doing it. And eventually, great things are going to happen. Alexander writes in, Ken, I'm in school, but I also want to leverage a skill I have in the trades to make money. What is the best plan of action to pursue both at the same time? Well, This is my opinion. You can flip this, but I'll give you my opinion on this particular one. If you want to leverage a skill in trades and make money, I'd go minimum 50-50. I would cut back on school to allow yourself to do more works, to do more work in the trades so that you can stack more money up. So I would start with the idea of what would 50-50 look like. And I'm even okay with you for a season, because I don't know what your educational goals are, but if you got to go 75-25, that's fine too. Go online. Dial back your education for a season, get in the trades, make more money, allow you to cash flow, not just your education, but everything you're doing. So I think it's either 75-25, meaning working in the trades, doing school, or 50-50. I think either one of those will work. And I wouldn't be against you pausing the education completely. If you go, well, Ken, I could bust it for 2 years. That'll put me in a really great financial situation. Again, you got to look at the overall goal on why you're getting the education and where that's putting you on the path. I think you just look at all of it and you go, what's best now? But I don't want you to feel any guilt about working. Not that you do, but a lot of people start to go, oh gosh, I'm pausing or I'm slowing down education. And there's this guilt that comes with that. There's no shame in your game at all. So whatever's best for you is how I would go about that. All right, Joe, what do you think? One more here. Okay, this is fun. Hey Dude 77 writes in, how do I decide between two careers that I'm passionate about? Simple answer is engage in everything you can learn about both careers, ideally with people who are in those careers. This is like doing the high school or college term paper on both careers. Dive in, learn everything you can about it. What the ladders would be like in both, meaning if you continue to move up and get promoted in each of the career paths, where do those go? What's the income? What's the responsibilities? You really want to know everything there is to know. And that's the book report side, if you will. But then you want to get in proximity. Use the proximity principle. In order to do what you want to do, get around people that are doing it and get in places where it's happening so we can observe the work, learn more about the work, shadow the work, meet more of the right people. And as we're doing that, we're getting more and more information. And the more we clarify, the easier it is for our heart to verify. This one's a little higher up the old emotional chart than this one. And that's how I would choose it if they are equal in all the other areas. But at the end of the day, I think your head and heart will combine here. I know that your head and heart will combine in this research and proximity stage. And when you're doing that together, the heart informs the brain informs the heart, and they're on the same page. And you get to the point, you go, this is clearly the one, even if it's only by the narrowest of margins. In that case, I would test a little bit. Get in the field. All this learning and doing, the more you can shadow, the more you can maybe do a little bit part-time, that will always, I think, edge out the heart, which is what I want you to do. I want you to be using the brain from a logic standpoint, gathering information, but let the heart speak to you. That's how that works. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. All right, this is fun. On Mondays, we'd like to do our Momentum Monday. Jody, you got a little something for us? Joe is not ready yet today. Joe is, the dog ate his homework. Oh, Genius takes time. Okay. I'm looking for I need some Momentum Monday music and maybe some audio bites, Joe. Let's work on that together, shall we? All right. So anyway, here's what we do. On Momentum Monday, I read some email updates from you folks because it is your progress that fires other people up. And so we want to share those stories. So you don't have to be stepping into the dream job. Doesn't have to be some big momentous thing, but you're making some progress. ask@kencoleman.com is the email address. Put Momentum Monday in the subject line, and we'll read it here on the show. All right, so here we go. Oh, this is a great one, Joe. Allison writes in, hey, Ken, aloha from Hawaii. Boy, I wish I was there, huh? Reading this on the old sand with a shave ice in my other hand, Joe. You know what I'm talking about, Nathan? Man, I'll tell you, Hawaii, best shave ice I've ever had in my life. She said, hey, I found you about 4 months ago and started listening to your podcast regularly. I also read your book, The Proximity Principle. I decided to follow your interview guide, and it really helped me crush my interview for my dream job. Wow. And she says, my long job search also sparked my interest back up in writing. She used to write a technology column, and so she's got a great article that she wrote, she shared with us, so that's fun. Way to go, Allison. She goes by Allie. So that's really, really awesome. Jacob, hey, Ken, I talked to you a few weeks ago, and we came to the conclusion of using technical skills to help people escape and relax. Today, I was flooded with a surge of energy when I realized I want to use computer-aided drafting and technology to help people be excited about their homes so they get that true escape in their home. Wow, that's fun. So he's very early on. It's really great. It's going to be fun to see where that goes. Aaron writes in, hey, Ken, I recently discovered the podcast of your radio show. I decided to subscribe and give it a listen. I work in talent acquisition part-time right now. I truly love what I do, and I know this is what I've been made to do. I am differently abled because I'm differently abled because I'm blind, only having 10 inches or less of useful vision in my right eye. I've been this way since birth due to being 4 months premature. I've always excelled at anything I set my mind to. I want to say that to tell your listeners that their dream job is right around the corner. Keep pushing and prepare. So he realized in listening to the show that his part-time job in talent acquisition is what he really loves to do. So in this situation, the momentum is he realized, hey, this is, in fact, what I love to do. So I love that. Love those updates. Ask at kencoleman.com to send in your momentum update. And as a reminder, if you do get close and you're about ready to step into that dream job, email us. Madison will get it. Ask at kencoleman.com. Put in Dream Scream, and we'll have you on the show to share your story. Count it down from 3, 2, 1, and scream, I'm living the dream. All right. Going to teach in just 30 seconds on the most important thing that you need to know in your career. Get to that in just a second, but I want to let you know our number one best-selling book, The Proximity Principle, which was written to help people who know what they want to do get there. So it really picks up, if you look at our 7 stages of get clear, get qualified, get connected, get started, get promoted, get the dream job, give yourself away. The proximity principle is really kind of straddling stages 2 and 3 to get qualified and get connected. Because as you're getting qualified, you can start the process of getting connected. And many times the qualification process goes faster and is more effective as a result of using the proximity principle, which says in order to do what you want to do, you've got to be around people that are doing it and in places where the thing you want to do is happening. People plus places equals opportunity. So the book is available in all 3 formats, the autographed copy of the hardback, plus the ebook, plus the audiobook, all for one price of $25. So again, this is a step-by-step plan to get where you want to go. 844-747-2577 is the number. We'll get to a phone call shortly, but I want to do about 2 minutes of teaching here. Coming to you next, Ben, so hang on. The most important thing for every man and woman to know throughout their career, to stay clear on this one thing. It's so vitally important. Here it is. The most important thing to know in your career is yourself. Folks, self-awareness is a superpower if you use the awareness. You have got to have the lens of awareness because you're going to have fear coming at you, doubt, pride, rejection, criticism. People are going to do bad things to you. And if you're not careful, those negative things, the things I just listed, can change the voices very quickly in our head and completely paralyze you. make you quit, keep you out of the game. So why is self-awareness a superpower? Because self-awareness, if you're really clear on who you are, what you do best, the work you love to do, the results of your work that matter deeply to you, then when those things happen to you, you retreat to the clarity of knowing you. And you go, oh, that's not true. What that person did to me doesn't change who I am. What that person said about me doesn't change who I am. Fear is lying. That's not true. Doubt is lying. That's not true. Pride is lying. That's not true. How do we know that? Because the self-awareness is that superpower, because we go back to clarity, we retreat to it, and it is safe. Because we begin to see who we really are in those moments that life throws at us. And then we can emerge. Retreat to the clarity of self-awareness. See, this isn't just a how to act at a party self-awareness. Of course, that's true. We all want to be self-aware and know our weaknesses. But this is so much deeper than that. This is knowing who you are and what you were created to be. And when you are aware to that level, life will not knock you down and keep you down. It may knock you down. In fact, it will. But you will pop right back up and keep on moving stronger for it. So self-awareness, to truly know who you are and what the creator of the universe has called for you to do. Watch out. You show me women and men who are truly aware of their calling, they're unstoppable. You might delay them, you won't stop them. You can attack them, you won't stop them. You can cheat them, you won't stop them. So understand that and grab that. It's a game changer. I mean, it starts today. For some of you who are watching this right now, you're going, Ken, I really don't know who I really am. Then go to kencoleman.com, take the free career clarity guide, begin the process, call the show, talk to me. I'm right here. Let's go through talent, passion, and mission. Let's really understand your heart. What makes it beat so heavily for something? There's a reason. In your story, there's a connection. For all of us, when we look at the work we love and the results of that work that matter deeply to us, I can tell you this, there's always something in our story that has shaped that final answer. So do the work. Dive in deep. Make sure that you truly know who you are. And when you do, it's a superpower. An absolute superpower. So make sure you do the work. All right, let's go to Ben, who's in Alberta, Canada. Ben, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. Appreciate you talking to me today.
You bet. How can I help?
I have a dream of starting a business that has resources to help people who are in transition periods in life. So that would be things like changing careers, home buying, connecting students to jobs after college, budgeting, finances, things like that.
Okay.
I guess my question with that would be, is it stretching myself too thin to try to be knowledgeable in all those areas, or should I pick one thing to focus on?
I'd like starting with one thing, and then the second thing would be something that needs to be a natural progression. So if you help somebody in one area, ideally, and I think I heard that with what you listed off, ideally then you start helping people in one area, and as you're helping them in that area, you go, I think you're ready to graduate, and I can help you with this as well. Or you build trust with people, and they start talking about you, and then somebody else comes in and says, well, listen, I don't need the financial help, but I need this resource. And you go, well, I can do that. So you kind of have a suite of services, if you will, that you would unveil in the right time. But I love the idea of being very focused on one to start, 2 max. Make sense?
Yep. Okay. So I was thinking about transitioning out of my job that I'm in currently and looking at maybe starting to look around for positions available in like the financial industry. So I was just also kind of wondering what you would recommend to do to transition out of a job and into completely different industry that, with the aim, I guess, of starting a business one day.
Yeah, I love it, but I just don't want you to transition. What some people think transition means, I don't agree with it. So transitioning is you go get qualified. So let's say you want to become a financial advisor. So what do you need to do to get qualified? So it comes down to 4 questions. This is the outline for everybody. All right. So you need to go, what do I need to learn to become a financial advisor? So what form of education? Does not necessarily mean a degree. It could be the certified process, the certification process to be a investment advisor. So that's what you need to learn. Then what experience do you need? Are they looking for certain experience? How would you gather that experience? So the first question is, what do I need to learn? The second question is, what do I need to do? So the first question is, what do I need to learn? That's the education question. Second question is, what do I need to do? That's the experience question. The third question is, how much is that going to cost me? That's the economic question. And the fourth question is, how long is that going to take me to do? That's the expectation question. So you've got to figure that out, all while staying in your day job, unless you've got the financial freedom to be able to step away now. So what we want to do is get to the point where you're qualified, ready to go, and you get hired. Then we walk from one job into the next. That would be my ideal plan for you. And then you get all that experience, and now you're setting yourself up to be the true expert that you need to be to do it for yourself. And then I would, again, if there's no conflict of interest, then you start this side business down the road when you feel you're ready, and you build the side business up until it's got enough money in the bank to take care of you for 6 months to a year, and then you step out of that job. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
So, I mean, that's very, yeah, man, listen, that's very doable, but don't rush. Make sure that you do it the right way in the right timing. Oh, it's fun. 844-747-2577. My time, unfortunately, is almost up. But before I let you go, you matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.